Alright guys, Gunty here, and I'm finally gonna get around to reading all of those fanfics you guys made for me. By the way, they were all awesome. Even if some of the writing wasn't that great, I still enjoyed every single one of them. And it's really awesome to have you guys sit down and actually type out these things for me. It's a great feeling. Thank you guys for that. Thank you. Alright, so our first one is by Cody Burrows. I believe his name is. One dark and ominous day, Gunter was wobbling through the woods and stumbled upon a small glowing gem. He looked around to see if anyone was around. When he did, he saw large red eyes a small distance away, hiding behind the leaves. When Gunter saw this, he immediately grabbed the gem and started to wobble away. But for every step he took, the eyes were getting closer and closer until finally it caught up to him. Gunter slowly turned around and saw a large red-eyed robot which appeared to have a small hole in the middle of its chest. Suddenly, the robot went to attack Gunter, but then Finn and Jake jumped out of the bushes and began to attack the robot. Unfortunately, it was too powerful for them, and the robot threw Finn and Jake far away from where they were. The robot then went after Gunter. Gunter started to panic and decided to eat the gem. When Gunter did this, he began to grow 10 times his original height. He also began to become much stronger. The robot became frightened and started to press a few buttons on its arm. Suddenly, a large spaceship appeared, and out came an equal-sized robot dog. The robot commanded the dog to attack Gunter, but it did not work. Gunter thought to himself, if only he could command it. So Gunter commanded the dog to attack the robot, and the dog immediately looked at the robot and instantly ate the robot. Gunter roared, as did the dog. Suddenly, he started to hear the Ice King's voice. He looked around as it got louder and louder. Then Gunter opened his eyes and realized that it was all a dream. That is possibly my favorite ending to every story, because I think if you just put main character wakes up and it was all just a dream, it's like the biggest middle finger to the readers, and it's hilarious. I'll show you guys my second favorite ending, because a lot of people seem to use it. It was great, by the way. You'll get there. All right, next one is by Ben Sharp. This strioi called Icing and Gunter. Is this trollific, you says? No, this is serious fanfic. New way Ice King gas out to Figd, Finn Adden Jig, and says to Gunter, Gunter, sete home. Gunter replies wank. Gunter decides to take over Oo, so Gunter says wank and makes copies of Gunter. Nad breaks all the bottles in Oo and shoots eye lasers at Ice King and Finn and Jake and Bimo and all princesses in Oo except the ones he likes, and is new Ice King and has party and all princesses kiss Gunter. Trollific indeed, man. I'm still waiting on that better fanfic you said you would write. I don't know if you watch this, Benny, but I'm coming for you. I will find you. Let's see, our next one, what is this? Next fanfic is by Jack at Ivy Lagaiacris. It's an awesome page, by the way. Totally throwing that out there. The Gunt and I frolicked through the bitches and had a wonderful time. Just a large Leviathan and his penguin. But it turned out M. Night Shyamalan was there and scared the bitches away. A good night twisted into a bad movie. Where's my card? Your card is not in the mail, Jack. It will not be in the mail anytime soon. Alright. Next fanfic got messaged into me. This one's by Jamie Field. Skipping that little thing. Blood staining his unintimidating body, knife and flipper. He walks out from the dark cave, now splattered with crimson. Muttering to himself, he spots a familiar figure on the horizon. Ice King. Gunter, why are you all... Oh, God, no! Sprinting at his kidnapper, weapon outstretched from his vermilion-colored body. Gunter plunges the knife deep into Ice King's torso, screaming out insults and pure hatred from his beak. Ice King falls to the ground, no chance to retaliate. Holding the slashes and incisions, trying to stop the bleeding. Why? He whispers. Gunter looks down peacefully. He says one simple word. Wank. This was easily the most violent out of all the fanfics I got. So, thank you for that, Jamie, if you watch this. Alright, another one of our original winners, Nick Fuller. And his was, well, it was obviously one of my favorite. It was really the end that pulled it all together. Don't read ahead. I'm gonna cover the screen, so you can't read ahead. I don't know what covering the screen is gonna do, but I'm gonna do it. I walked into my house with full intentions of doing nothing for the rest of the night. Mom, I'm home. No response, and I got worried. I started to look around, and I noticed an absence. Not of people, but of life, of all that is good in the world. I grew frantic in my search for any sign of life at all, something. A noise startled me coming from the basement. I bit my lip and took my first step. 7 more to go. What could be down there? Maybe it's all in my imagination. Maybe I'm asleep. Step 2. What if I'm awake? What did they do to my parents? Whatever it is, I'm gonna kick its ass. Step 3. If it killed them, how am I gonna beat it? I'm doomed. I'm gonna die. I missed as I tumbled down the stairs. I lost my sense of direction, but soon enough I saw it. I stared into the face of pure insanity, a face of evil, something not from this world. Something so terrible, if I tried to recant it here, well, I don't think the words exist to do so. It opened its mouth and uttered a phrase so horrible it hairs me to this day. Wank. Best ending anyone came up with, and in fact a few people came up with it, but I just enjoyed it because that simple phrase just strikes fear into the hearts of millions of children everywhere. So yeah. All right, this next one's from another winner, from Gabriel Martinez Mendez, which is probably one of the easiest pronounced names I've ever tried to pronounce. I don't know. It just rolls off the tongue for some reason. I really like it. Awesome name, Gabriel. Let's see. 'Twas a snowy day like normal where I live, Antarctica. Reaching my house, the door was open a crack. It never is due to the sheer cold out. My brother always makes sure it's closed since he stays home. I walk in slowly but carefully, thinking a robber was in there. I creeped slowly down the hall to my brother's room, and inside was blood and all of his belongings thrown about. Panic set in. I began running to the front door, but it was closed and locked. I began unlocking it as fast as possible, but then I heard it behind me, the most evil thing of all. I turned and glanced at it, and it had the most sinister eyes looking at me as it said, "Wank." Again, that ending, it just gets to me for some reason. It really makes me just smile and laugh and all those weird sort of cheesy things that you expect from romantic comedies. So, yeah. Thank you, Gabriel. Thank you. Alright, this is by far my favorite of them. This guy is the winner, Dashier Robertson. He, and I felt, won the contest. Not because he had the longest one or the best story or whatever, and even the art, which really makes it stand out from the rest of everyone else's, but it all came together and it felt like he put a lot of work into his. So I'm not trying to offend anyone else, but I just like this one a lot. So check out that picture though. The one on the right is Gunter, I believe, in whatever regalia he is wearing, and the one on the left is the opponent I am fighting. So let's get on with it. Let's see if we can do a voice. Do you truly believe you can destroy me? The demon questioned Gunter as he bore his razor-sharp teeth and unsheathed his demonic blade from the depths of darkness, forged from the souls of those who have strayed from the path of sanity and total purity. Ebb Habel was positive that Gunter was doomed to fall to his blade, and to its power like the thousands before him had. So many stubborn warriors have lost their lives believing that there was a ghost of a chance for their might to overpower Ebb Habel, but the demon destroyed them all with only the use of one swipe of his soul sword. But he sensed something different within Gunter, something Ebb had never sensed any of the fallen warriors he had consumed into his sword. There was an energy that was emanating off of him. He could see the aura around Gunter. It was bright red, a color he would never forget. Gunter stood steely as Ebb Habel's expression shifted from sheer confidence to uneasy fear. Gunter revealed his blade and shield from within his armbands, which increased his power 10,000-fold, which shone by the dust around his feet beginning to pick up and circle his legs. His eyes quickly darted towards those of the demons, and had shown extreme penance, and he instantly saw the fear on the demon's face. "I don't need to think about it," Gunter replied coolly and valiantly. "It's my destiny to defeat you, because once I kill you, you not only will because once I kill you, not only will I be able to enjoy my fine rugs and lube, but also my horrific creepypastas. Damn it, there's no way that you can be human, but your aura isn't unpure like my demonic aura. What are you?" Ed Habel had reached his limit within this horrific mystery of the thing that stood before him, this thing that wasn't human, nor was he demonic, this thing that induced an unfamiliar emotion into his entire being, an emotion he vaguely knew as fear. So you want to know who I am?" Gunter could tell that this fight could be over before it even started. "I'm Gunter." And with that, the battle started. Storm clouds gathered as far as 3 countries. Anyone looking outside would only pass it off as a lightning storm, but up close the bolts of lightning can be seen as sparks flying off their weapons, and the sounds of thunder were the blades clashing against each other. The battle carried on for only a few short hours, but the nearby damage could have suggested that it was a year-long war between 2 massive armies. Eb Habel appeared beaten, bruised, and near death. However, Gunter appeared to only have very few bruises or scratches, as if he was only in a fight with a schoolyard bully. Ooh, I cannot read. "It's pretty ironic, really," Gunter remarked. "What do you mean, you bastard?" Ed Habel snapped, breathless and coughing up blood. "I mean, you came into this battle believing you could rule all, that you could defeat me like you defeated all those mortals, but in the end, you are the one who will die today." Gunter said every word that he had spoken, and said them to the demon without mercy or empathy, the exact way that he would use his power to obliterate this damned demon. Gunter raised his blade to the sky, and watched the power of the gods emanate off his blade, and when it had so much energy, the ground shook, and with such ferocity he brought his arm down with ungodlike strength, and created a wave of pure energy off his sword that split the demon in 2. Ed Habel's final words were, "You little shit, you think you just by defeating me you can restore peace? Evil is everywhere, and doesn't just end with my death. Just look at Camden. I don't care about destroying evil entirely or creating peace. And I have to admit, even at your life's end, you've decided to be clever. But all that matters is that I get my fine rugs, lube, and creepypasta, and I get to obliterate my enemies." And with that, Ed Habel imploded from the amount of godly energy he had come in contact with. Gunter, being the honorable fighter he is, wrapped Eb Habel's hollowed-out remains in one of his fine rugs and rubbed it in lube. But before fading into sunset, he went into the nearest town's internet cafe to search up some bewittingly horrifying creepypastas for the next Freaky Friday. My favorite so far. He's even said, if enough people like this story he wrote, that he'll write more. So please, you guys, and like this, enjoy it, say you like it, make sure he finds out, post it on my wall, message me, message him. It'd be great if he wrote a few more, just as he would. It'd be great if everyone wrote a few more, myself included. I definitely need to start doing something to keep everything more active and exciting and not becoming broken, but whatever, So I thank everyone who participated. Congratulations to our winners, Dashier Robertson, Nick Fuller, who gave up his title, and it has been passed on to Jamie and Gabriel. So thanks for listening, guys. Anyway, if you have any suggestions for what you might want, if you wanted me to read anything for you guys, I will be more than willing to. For now, Gunter, out.